Welcome back to the Black Remembering podcast, where we highlight the heavy and the hope. It is officially Juneteenth season, and we are wishing y'all a happy Juneteenth all month long. This is the first episode of our Black Jubilee series, and we're kicking it off today with our special guest, DeWayne Barton, the founder and CEO of Hood Huggers International. Hood Huggers is a nonprofit organization based in Asheville, North Carolina, that rebuilding Affrilachia through art, environment, and social enterprise. Welcome to the show, DeWayne.
I'm happy to be here. Yeah, happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us.
Right.
All right, so I like to start off by asking our guests to tell me something good. So what's something that's brought a smile to your face lately?
Wow. Brought a smile to my face lately. We're doing a project called the Blue Note Junction Project, and it's a health and business incubator, and we just got about $500K from the TDA to help support the building of that project. It's a health and business incubator that's targeting BIPOC entrepreneurs in the community in general, because it's a health and business incubator. Mm-hmm. So we will have therapists, hot tub, sauna, theater, greenhouse, and all those different things.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. I want to hear more about that. Like, is that the Blue Note Junction?
Yes.
All right. So we'll definitely put y'all onto that website. So we are here in the Peace Garden, and I would like for you to tell us all about Hood Huggers International. What is it? How did y'all get started?
Wow. Hood Huggers International came out of the Peace Gardens. Like right now, we're in the Mount Carmel Baptist Church. It's directly across from the Peace Garden. And when I moved back here in 2001, this was a pretty rough neighborhood. It was cracked out, and we wanted to do something to help, restore the neighborhood. And so we created the Peace Garden. And one of the first things we did was pick up all the garbage in the neighborhood. And then we said, hey, man, we see these young cats on this pipeline of prison. So let's hire them to help us clear the lots. And we would eventually create the Peace Gardens. And let's pick up the trash. Let's create a community garden. Let's create a safe healing space using the arts. And let's use what we had. We had a bunch of trash in this neighborhood, man. So that's what we did. We started in 2003. Peace Garden was inspired by the war on drugs that was happening in the neighborhood, but it's also inspired by the war in Iraq that was happening around 2003. We used to drive all the way to DC and say, don't protest, protest, play drums, and then drive back, all the way back to Asheville, and they, it's a war right here in this neighborhood. So we said, man, what are we going to do? And that launched the Peace Garden. And from the Peace Gardens, we started this youth training program. It was a young adult, 18 to 24, with green opportunities. And we started it right in the Peace Garden as a way to train young people, young adults around the importance of the environment. And so the goal was, once you teach them, teach them the skill sets, but also teach them the entrepreneurship. Like, we got to create businesses in our community. And during that time, I noticed we was dealing with young cats that was 18 and 24, and it was like, yo, man, these cats hard-headed. We can't wait till they 18 and 24 to try to, that's a lot of time. How can we catch them a little earlier? How can we get them earlier? So when I left Green Opportunities, it was my mission to go back to the community, but then go catch the younger population, just like we do sports. Like, we don't wait till they're 18 and teach them how to throw the basketball and the football and kick the soccer ball. So why don't we use that same infrastructure that we do for sports to train young people about the importance of taking care of the environment, taking care of themselves, the arts, environment, and social enterprise. How can we use that same infrastructure of sports for the arts environment, social enterprise. So that's what launched Hood Huggers International. And to sustain it, because I was in that nonprofit world, and there was a lot of paper pimping going on. It was more paper pimping than actual work. I was like, man, this time let me try the social enterprise way where we make the money. And the money we make is what we then turn around and invest back into the community. So we can create a more sustainable model. Not to say that grants is not important, but we want to have more freedom to do it in a real aggressive way, So we said, okay, what business would we get into? Hey, we're in $1 billion tourism industry in Asheville. This is 2015. There are no Black tour companies. I'm the first Black-owned tour company in the history of the city. I said, man, you get in the tourism business, it gives you the platform to talk about these spaces. It gives you a way to make money that you can then invest back into the places that you talk about on the tour. And it gives you the power to bring bodies of people, to artists, entrepreneurs, businesses. And it was just, this is the hustle here. And that's what we did. We started in 2015 officially with Hood Huggers International.
And that's where the bus comes in.
Yeah, the buses. Yeah, we got buses now. We got a convertible Cadillac.
Okay.
We got a Deuce and a Quarter convertible. We even can do it on bikes now. You know what I mean? So
that's wild. That's beautiful because I think a lot of the tourism industry and the gentrification that's running rampant in Asheville is almost like the sad burdening part. So to take that and spin it on its head and carve out a spot for Black people in the community, I love it.
Yeah, we need to do it.
Yeah.
And right now, I think we maintain about 5 or 6 green spaces. We got about 3 community gardens. We got the Blue Note Junction, and we're trying to keep up 2 African American cemeteries, Southside, the one in Kenilworth, and the one over here in Valley Hill. I think it's very important that we go back to our cemeteries and reclaim them. A lot of times our cemeteries are not looking like nobody care for them, and that's an error in the game.
Yeah.
Especially if there's other people cemeteries right across the street from ours that look like golf courses.
Yeah.
So I think what we want to do is really grow that next generation of leaders to be very invested in their community.
I was out there with Ellen last week or the week before, and she mentioned Hood Huggers coming out. So can you tell us what a day like that would look like to restore some of the African American cemeteries?
What daily maintenance? It's a lot of trees out there. It's the dude dropped about 4 trees out there, and there's a lot of wood out there that gotta be moved. We plan on a huge work day, not this week, the following week, and it's one the history. School a young cat about the history of why this place is, how important it is. And then it's taking care of it. If it's just picking up loose branches, raking leaves, just getting a routine. It shouldn't be a special thing.
Right.
It should be an honor thing to go out there, try to give back to the people who had to catch all the hammers.
Yeah.
They had to catch all the hammers, and then their final resting place is don't look just like a golf course. It should. Yeah, it should. No. Yeah, they went through so much. So especially people who know, who conscious about it. The thing about how do we do it together? Sometimes we got to learn how to hustle together again, better, and that's another story. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So, how do you define Affrilachia? I noticed that was a part of the tagline. And also, how does Hood Huggers rebuild Affrilachia?
Well, I got that term, Frank X. Walker. He coined that term, and I just thought it was a powerful term. I liked it, and because of, a lot of people say they come up here and Asheville say we're the Black people, and then to know that Asheville used to be over 20% Black. You know what I mean? So it's for us, we want to acknowledge that we have a presence here, and then how we give back to that presence is like this church right here. This is like, they don't got a strong congregation. A lot of people, our goal is to invest back in it. Like, we've been investing, like the ACG here. We're gonna have it painted. We're gonna pull this rug out. We gotta claim our physical spaces again. How we do it is claiming our physical spaces, the infrastructure in our spaces, protect them, identify them, restore them, and then monetize them in a way that they can be self-sustaining and they won't be, sold or bought off. Like, we got a couple elders that passed away, like their homes. How can we work together, secure these homes, secure these homes in our community, and then to ensure like the chance that we can get somebody, a BIPOC person in here in the community to have a place to live. And I think training the next generation, like we got a youth component to everything we do. Like, it's called HHR under instruction. So from the Blue Note Junction to the cemetery to repainting and restoring this place, is like, how do you train young people, group them up to be a part of these experiences, to build their confidence and to build their vision and inspire them to continue to work as, me and other people move on. Like, we gotta be growing the next crop of young people. We gotta do that. So our goal is to create that platform. So not only are we doing this work, we also training the people who's gonna come after us.
And you mentioned like the ideal of training youth, since we do it with like sports and football.
Yes.
Do y'all partner with schools or any nonprofit youth organizations to help foster that?
Yeah, like recently, what's it, CC over at Hill Street, it was CC Weston. Yeah, she got that spot over there. We recently checked in with her because, like, for us, when we first started, we was looking at that middle high school. Yeah, that was our target. But then the cats who graduated out of high school, they start coming, you know what I mean? So it was like, wow, so that means this whole population at 18 to 24 is still being ignored. It's still a group of young people who they graduated high school and they haven't found their place, particularly here in Asheville. So we got that right now. And we're working with Land and Sky Regional Council for this thing called Go Places to help support that group. That middle school, high school is our sweet spot. But then with CC West and her program is that younger. So that, that whole pipeline, just like we do sports. Maybe 6 years old out there, the helmet on, and getting hit in the head and throwing the ball at 6 or 7. I mean, if they can do that for sports, we can't do that for learning how to grow food, learning some business and math that ties back into your thing around schools.
Yeah.
I didn't have all my little graphs and charts, but we have a community school and business thing that we do. Just like this is community, how we create that pipeline and those coaches in the community, going back to the schools, and then business. So what we're trying to do is make it power like this. So we all, because usually we work in these individual silos and we're not connecting the dots. We gotta connect the dots. We gotta make this like a holistic approach around supporting our communities and our young people. And if we can do that, we can do it consistently, it's just gonna be much better, more efficient, more effective.
What's CC's program called?
I forget it. It's in Hill Street.
Is that
CC Weston, right over there in the basement of the Hill Street Church. I forget.
Is that the same program where like the food truck will go around and they'll have like organic produce to go around the different neighborhoods, or did that phase out?
No, that's hers is an after school program.
Okay.
And she has the same thing of workforce development and stuff like that. In fact, they come in here in a few months to do, this summer to do another tour and to do some hands-on projects over here. We want them to work on building that Blue Note Junction. Like that Blue Note Junction project, that's about a $7 million project.
Wow.
We want the young people in there with the architects. We want them with the contracts. We had them out there with the surveyors.
Yeah.
We want them to be a part of it. we want their ideas. What should we build on this section for young people? You know what I mean? In fact, next week we meeting about doing a youth-led credit union. I know you used to work with that business place. We want that. We got to build back the infrastructure. A lot of times we have programs, but we don't have the infrastructure that can sustain it.
Right.
And our mind said, no, let's get the building, the physical space. Let's build it up. Let's build the infrastructure and then run the program. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you. All right. So we started out by talking about Juneteenth because we're in June and that's coming up. So for those of y'all who don't know, Juneteenth is the African American community's Independence Day. We acknowledge the 4th of July, like we have cookouts and we eat, but the real Independence Day for Black folks is June 19th. Will Hood Huggers International host any special events or any educational things for the youth in honor of Juneteenth?
Well, we supposed to be a part of, we're going to be doing a tour with, I think, the Reparations Commission. I think that's who's going on the tour.
RJC?
No, not RGC. The Reparations Commission that was formed by the city and the county here.
Okay.
Because Asheville's going through that process. I'm on them. I'm a member, and I think I'm supposed to be doing that for Juneteenth. And I think that DJ Superman is supposed to be sponsoring an event for Juneteenth. And of course, as far as the young people, I mean, I'm always surrounding them around that history and the importance of the history, African American history, taking them to the reparations meetings and all those things. But for me, the day I really celebrate here in the mountains is April, around April the 24th, mid-April, is our Independence Day here in the mountain because of the Stoneman's raid. They came through and they raided, and then as the soldiers marched down the middle of downtown Asheville on Broadway, a lot of the enslaved people that was up here in the mountains, they booked out. They left with the soldiers. So to me, that's an official day that I celebrate. We haven't got a whole art show around that day when a lot of people up in the mountains who say, we out of here.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like Asheville specific emancipation.
Yes.
Love it. All right. So I like to ask our guests to leave our audience with a few nuggets of wisdom. Mm-hmm. So what advice would you give our audience, specifically, like if you were talking to youth, what advice would you give youth on how to get free?
Get free. Okay. You got to learn how to forgive. That's the first one.
I wasn't ready. Hold on. Okay. I'm listening.
Okay. you got to practice forgive.
Yeah.
And you got to learn how to forgive. And then you got to heal. And then you got to build at the same time. There is no waiting. Not wait, I'm going to forgive and then I'm going to heal. No. You got to do all three at the same time. You got to practice that.
Forgive, heal, build.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah, at the same time.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. That was for me. I don't know if y'all caught that, but that was for me too. I needed that word. All right. How do we support Hood Huggers? How do we keep up with y'all online?
Yeah. All that social media stuff, that Hood Huggers, Peace Guys and Market, Blue Note Junction, through the websites, through social media. We got somebody that handles that. That's not my thing. It's all those ways. And then it's like, do it in your own neighborhood. You know what I mean? And because we definitely got to connect the dots. And another thing I want to say, we came out with a book called CAP, the Community Accountability Plan, and it talks about how we were able to help transform this neighborhood to be one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the city to now they building $1 million houses in the neighborhood. And then all the dynamics and all of our strategies that we're taking to not let that $1 million house displace these more legacy residents. Mm-hmm. Because we know this is happening all over the country. Mm-hmm. Our number one thing is like, how are we going to hustle together to help change it? Because the hammers was similar across the country. Now, the answer to it should be similar across the country.
And we got to create what that answer looks like.
You're right.
Yeah.
Thank you, DeWayne.
Yeah,
Thank you for meeting with us.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. We'll see y'all next time.